But what was the change in the gimmick? Why, Aiden O'Shea?
To be honest with you, it's really just like I've said before. It's just a new kind of coat of paint on the car that is my wrestling career. Anybody who's seen me, any of the stuff that I've done in Ohio Valley and my couple of stints there, or some of the independent stuff I've done the last couple of years, there's really no difference between the guy once was known as Jay Bradley and Aiden O'Shea. I'm of Irish descent. I've grown up in the Chicagoland area. There's a very strong subculture in the south side of Chicago that, they call it the South Side Chirish. And that sort of feel to this barroom brawler, blue collar kind of guy, something I've always had. And we're just kind of dressing up and presenting it a little bit different, turning up the volume on a little bit more, I should say, on who I am as an individual and what I do in the ring. And sometimes that's all it is. It takes is somebody looks at you in a different light, or makes a suggestion that just tweaks a piece here or there, and you're seen in an entirely different way, or you're exposed to more people or more fans who don't haven't heard of you before. So it's been pretty positive. I've gotten a lot of great feedback on it from veterans in the business and people in upper management. A few other wrestling companies have kind of come sniffing around to kind of see what's going on. So yeah, to me it was just, all right, we're gonna put a new coat of paint on everything, and we're gonna change the name slightly. But I mean, you need to go back to my time in WWE. They billed me from the south side of Chicago then. It was a little bit more of a ruggeder personality. But like I said, we just turned up the volume on some other things, and this is what we got.
Definitely. And, the Aiden O'Shea character is obviously a completely different name, if you will. I mean, like you said, you turned it up the volume, making it a very, very Irish name. Now, when that happens, when you go from Jay Bradley to Aiden O'Shea, is that something that they just present to you and they give you the name, or is it something you guys work on together?
No, actually, it was a mutual, I should say, collaborative effort between myself and actually Billy Corgan, for the most part. I mean, a few other people, gave me some feedback, like, a promoter, Dave Hero, that I work for here and there up in Milwaukee, and one of my original trainers, Danny Dominion, who, we're still tight, we still talk, and basically how it came about was, Billy was hired for TNA to be part of the creative department and executive producer. And I had worked with Billy here in Chicago, and, was cool enough that, I got to, consider him a friend and, outside of wrestling as well. And when, he got to TNA, he was just kind of like, I would love to have you back in the company. Like, I've got some ideas, and, they're sort of, this is my role. I want to develop some new characters or some new blood into TNA wrestling. And he thought that could be his niche. So we kind of got together and we kind of brainstorming, like, what could we do? Let's try for something different instead of being another guy in like trunks or tights and a pair of boots. What aspects or how else could I dress a guy like me dressed and get in a fight? Where would you find this sort of character at? What parts about me fit the other aspects? And, we played around with it, and lo and behold, this is what it became. I did, he had me do some, test promo work in front of the camera, talking, that sort of thing. And he really didn't want really much to change, or if anything to change, as far as what I do with the microphone or what I do in the ring as far as a wrestler. Like I said, we were just looking for a different light to shine on it. And once I did some interviews, he showed them to Big at TNA, and Big saw it and, wanted to put it to work. So that's how it happened.